yourself, deck yourself out, guard yourself from the deafening howls of those who came before you. Bat the spirit's hands away as they reach for you in the frigid night. My mom thinks matching costumes will save me. I tried to tell her both that if I was going to die here beneath the harvest moon, I want it to be me who kisses life goodbye. She said, don't be dramatic. Think of the spirits. Think of the neighbors' questions. Tell lies if you have to. Yet I don't feel like a liar. Not while I walk, dead leaves in my step on these streets without name. Not while I am someone without name. Not while I see neighbors and get a passing glance at most. Not while no one's acting like they know me because they don't. Tonight jaws gnash and shrieks pierce the air in excitement to consume candy, frights, raisin cookies from my dad, what have you, but not me. Screeching kids, hands stained with sugar, the cheap ghosts wailing on every porch sound almost like silence. Finally, a break from those rearing heads and the coos from the neighbors saying, oh, look at that one, so orderly, so neat, that family's so nice, that kid is right where she belongs. Those words on my cover. I let them go on, told them I had too much work and couldn't trick or treat with them, then snuck out my bedroom window, watched throw a bug as they dug themselves 6 feet under with 600 truths left unsaid and 60,000 words unsaid, and yet I don't feel like a liar. This air in my lungs wouldn't taste so sweet if I was that rotten inside, would it? No, it would stink, like all the times I'd stand in pretty pictures that never wanted me to begin with, like all the times the eyes would glaze over when I tried to tell the truth because I did try. I tried, and my voice died, and I just let it lie. But the dead and the living are one tonight. Tonight, truth is no longer something to drag with me. It is me, snug on my face as if it's coming home, as if it never left. There, in every reflective surface, distorted in cheap candy wrappers, as if even they know you're not fit for consumption, as if even they know you were never made just to be consumed. There, in the faces that don't know mine. There, in the eyes of those who came before me, eyes like mine, watching me, there, in this wonderful silent night that finds me, with the costumes stashed beneath the bed, finds me by the window left ajar back home, finds me for who I chose to be, finds me for who I am, and still thinks the pictures are pretty, and still lets me stand next to it, smiling, and listens when I say that I've never gone a day without chopping truths in half, that I've got lies staining my hands that I always have, but that just for tonight, I don't feel like a liar.
Next up we have Zane! Zane, if you were a candy, you would be Snickers.
I fucking hate Growler. This is the 3rd time I've been stood up this week, and I know I'm like technically immortal and everything, but online dating is such a waste of time. Being Frankenstein's monster, I feel like I have a lot to offer. I have Anton the handsome space, Greta the shield maiden's legs, Apollonia the fair's hair, Franz the promiscuous's Sorry. That was so crass. After so many bad experiences with humans, the beatings, expulsions, shunnings, I thought I'd have a better experience with ghouls. Little did I know I'd get ghosted by a literal ghost. I crave what humans have, connection, community, love, and I thought that by working on myself, learning how to speak and how to feel, someone could finally see past my freaking awesome appearance. That's why I was so excited when I downloaded Growler, and then when I re-downloaded it, and then when I did it again. Each download a new promise for me to be like Frankenstein, a better Frankenstein, a Frankenstein who loves his creation because it's an extension of himself instead of fearing it because it's a reflection, a Frankenstein who can look past experiences and see the creation's potential for love. Doesn't everyone deserve an opportunity to be loved and loved? And so I cleaved, assembled, and breathed life into a new me, a digital me, a me whose words, emotions, and attention could be loved by others, who understand loneliness and rejection by so-called humanity. And what's crazy is that it gets matches and gets to talking and even gets the occasional hookup, but God forbid a first date, right? Is the witch's brew not good enough or something? I didn't know ghouls hated drinking good lager. So many of us are instantly written off by society for our appearances and appetites, but how cruel is it that we do it to each other? I guess that really does make us human. I'm rambling. I just thought that my beating heart could pierce the digital veil and reach another heart, beating just like mine, powered with nerves, coursing with electricity just like mine. But I guess my heart is too ugly, even for zombies, werewolves, ghosts, cryptids, and vampires. Shit, man. These schools are for the fucking streets. What do they know? Eat hot brain and lie? Anton found love, Greta found love, Apollonia found love. And well, Franz didn't find love, but the townsfolk sure loved him. They say the whole is greater than the sum of its parts, and I know I can find love, and I know I can find a home, and it may not be with a human or some strange creature, and I honestly don't know who it would be. But I know love is out there somewhere, even if it's not Slim Daddy 69, who's never fucking showing up. WWE, I don't know what you put into your cauldron tonight, but it's making me feel things I haven't felt since '62. You remember that dance I did at Boris's? Bro, should I be messy? Should I be messy? I think I'm gonna hit up Dracunuts XL, and I'm 100% texting Banksy Moans.
Quite tricky and, well, we don't need to get into it now. But anyways, don't say I can't know love just because my heart's been turned cold by customers running out on tabs and because I was raised by a gaggle of ghouls and a trolley of trolls in the worst part of an underbridge city. No, none of that is important because I am in love. And let me tell you about him. He's tall. He has the greatest eyes I've ever seen. He's a lawyer or a ghost lawyer, a lawyer for ghosts, maybe. And he's so pretty. I love him. He's sweet, he's kind, and he has lots of other perfect and memorable qualities. So maybe I don't know him that well. Maybe all I actually know of him is that he said hello and paid his tab and came into the bar 2 weeks ago. But I still know that I love him and that I want him to come back and to want me. But if he does come back, will he even know me? Will he recognize the witch who served him that vodka cran, the perfect bluff potion for such a high caliber man of his beauty? I hope he will. After all, when I opened my bar, The Witch's Brew, I had this dream of maybe finding someone nice to share my bar with, who could help me sweep the floor with my flying broomstick or maybe make use of a broomstick of their own. But 2 weeks ago, when that stranger walked into my bar, I couldn't find myself brave enough to ask for the hour. Instead, I just stared at him, scared that he would reject me and leave me alone, even though I guess it was already alone. I'm an already witch turned bitch by years of pensiveness. That's what I am, a hopeless bartender trying to make a fucking love potion taste like vodka. But I can't even make my favorite stranger drink it because now I don't know where he is or even if he'll ever come back to my bar. Hell, I don't remember his name. But still, I know that I'm in love with him, that no other man or woman could ever do, and that I am lost in my love, that I'm not quite sure what to do with it, and that I am a self-destructive dumbass, a danger to myself, a stingy bartender who genuinely enjoys the thrill of a price gouge. So maybe it's good he'll never come back to my bar. Maybe it's good I'll never see him again, because after all, how am I going to make him like me when I'm not even sure I like myself? And what's the point of hoping for him to walk through those doors when I know that even if he does, I probably won't be able to, riz. Instead, like the monster sitting at my bar tonight, I'll probably wistfully have to wait to meet someone online, and then they'll probably stand me up at my own bar, because who would be with a witch bitch broke bartender? But wait, I just got a notification. It's witchesmeet.com. It's a match, and he has green eyes, and he's tall. It's him. It must be the stranger from 2 weeks ago. And he wants to get dinner. I'll be back at midnight or maybe midnight tomorrow.
Next up is Liz! Liz, you would be Twizzlers.
Oh, Twizzlers! Yes!
I like the cherry ones, I know the time. They're really good. Thanks, Henry. Alright, so bear with me. This is not like the type of poetry I usually do, so just like, sure. Okay. This also goes out to my chronic nervous girlies. Woo! Yes, thank you. Alright, anyways. Nothing really haunts me. No, seriously, nothing, really. I'm totally normal. Totally fine all the time. I mean, I don't really think ghosts are real. I'm not scared of monsters under my bed at night. I've always really liked horror movies. Big ghost face fan. That mask is kind of hot. So, what could keep me up at night besides the past? Besides where I was a year ago today. A year ago today, I was diagnosed with female hysteria. And since there's still no cure to being a woman, I don't find demons in my room at night. I find memories. I see stories played out in the light like hand puppets in a storm, where recollections float onto waves, toying with me, constantly rushing past, but never touching me. I'm not haunted by ghosts. I'm haunted by memories. By thoughts and feelings that shouldn't shape me anymore, but still do. I can only be scared by reality, not monsters under my bed, but by my own failed body, by doctors who called me crazy, impossible, and incurable insanity. Their words scratching against my headboard, long, sharp nails, whispering lies and tales of doom into my mind when I try to close my eyes. And lately I've been thinking of Rome. It's funny how true that cliche rings for me these days. All roads lead to Rome. It's cheesy, okay, but it seems to be true. My darkest thoughts take me back there, back to the bed I lived in for a month in Rome. A precursor to the hospital bed I lay stuck in for nearly 9 days in New Jersey, the place where these memories formed. A year ago today, growing in the moonlight that snuck in through the open windows of my hospital room. These memories took root and dug themselves into me, into my pained body, into my flesh, making it hard to breathe, my face red, swollen, my mind dizzy and blank, unable to walk or move or talk, seizures and shaking and tremors everywhere, chilly and yet impossibly hot, unable to eat, unable to eat a thing. I'm haunted by that bed, by Rome. I'm haunted by the memory of my own death. At night, the only ghost I see is myself and my body, and how my body felt as it was rotting, slowly falling apart, slowly slowing down. I'm haunted by my own flesh. God, this is fucking dark. But it's not a ghost story. It's my story. It's true and it's real, and I think maybe that's the scariest part. Being haunted by yourself, by your own body, is the scariest type of monster to lay under your bed at night. It's the kind of monster that follows you into the day, into every meal you sit down to chew, into every doctor's office, every party, every class, everything you do in that flesh. Haunted by the scars of illness. Scars that nobody can see but you. Invisible but present, invisible but chronic, memorable, curable, yet tolerable. Invisible but real. Real, not fiction. I don't know if ghosts are real, but I know that this illness is, and that I am mostly not hysterical, and that my body is still breathing, and that I am still here. I am still here, despite this haunted body, despite this illness, despite those lying doctors, despite Rome. I am still here.
Reese, you needed your peppermint patty. But you got me say Reese is red.
Yeah.
we open our eyes and see the way they look at us, ruffled feathers and hollowed-eyed stares, snot pooling in their nares, we decide to walk extra long so as not to be followed. We've been in the maze for days. It's October season, summer, beaten, bloody, prismatic, and it just gets colder and colder. It's been a while, but I still remember the beginning. I packed a pen to chart our way out. You packed the beef jerky in case we got lost. I was foolish then. I thought the maze was something I could map. I thought the distance between footfalls could be measured in ink. You thought hunger and thirst would be the end, but nothing can outweigh the goal of wandering when I pull you along with me. We are older and younger, ideal and practical. We are voice and echo. We are both the echo. We walk hand in hand. We don't know shit about this world or anything in it, but it is the most beautiful fall day you could imagine. There's meandering in the way our footsteps that are like the first breath you take after laughing too hard. Every once in a while, we stop and admire felt stops. We wonder who built this place, and for what purpose. I grow cornfields and let it bake. We inspect the plants, each one a microcosm, gray mold spreading over aged leaves, green rot, spiraling yellow pustules. The world smells like sand. We think to ourselves that the farmer who tended these crops was a big dummy. Of course, we didn't know it was he who planted the crops, letting the frost get them one by one, leaving the neighboring fields fallow to sow loneliness in each seed, feeding the infection. We know of the farmer. He shaped the land with a scythe and scrap wood and old horseshoes, and his father's father had dirty fingernails and greedy eyes, and he was left behind in a creaky house, and the only thing that would ever mend the hole was living in a constant state of seizure. We live in a constant state of waiting for him to breathe and to feel the heave of the earth underfoot as it tries to buck us off. I know that one day you will raise your head above the endless tall grasses, scoff at the clouds, say, we've been watering the same 4x4 foot box our whole lives. You will wake up, and I will stay in this imagining.
I started sleeping with the lights off, but I don't know when it started because I used to be so afraid of the dark. The jagged shapes contouring my ceiling when the fan spun just right, or just left, I think in the wrong way, making shapes just unfamiliar enough to leave me speechless. I had a pink nightlight before it flashed through me in my theater. The shadows were always greater, you see, finer, but wider and thinking something more. I would stare at my ceiling and try to comfort myself, saying, it's okay that I don't know. Which is weird because, you see, I used to be very afraid of being unaware. My mom used to do this bit where she would take my phone from me and then ask me where it was, to teach me to be present, to be conscious, to be intentional. And I would throw a fit larger than an 8-year-old could, and it taught me how to hide her things too. I used to be very funny. I was always so absent-minded and funny, and wandering through halls that didn't belong to me with a greed or a power. I used to make all of the adults around me laugh at dinner time, and my mom used to walk with a proud, jealous smile. I think I'm going extinct. I used to be fuller or thinner, smaller, but bigger, bright and ambitious and full of potential. I know that I'm older. I'm stuck with the desire to be great and conscious and funny again, to double knot my shoes just so I can prove that I did learn to tie them. When I didn't have to yell or perform to feel tangible, or when I didn't have to be grand or fell short to be seen.
Claire, you would be strawberry Mentos.
Ghost hunting ain't never easy. It's cold, lonely, a thankless task. It's goddamn unforgiving. It's like Ma always said, can't take the heat? Well, get out of the dark boiler room inside the centuries-old haunted house you're ghost hunting in. I've always seen things that were never there, or maybe things that were there once a long time ago. There's a spectral veil made of white lace and bone splinters, and I know it like it's a part of me, know it like just how I know on Sundays Ma's making corn soup. And yeah, I'm crazy. I'm crazy until you got a poltergeist in your attic. I'm fucking insane until you got a wraith in your bathroom. Ghost hunting ain't ever easy, because it always goes like this. Dark night, no stars, new moon. I'm driving on a lone stretch of road and pass by a solitary house in a near empty field. If I keep driving through the night, I'll make it to Mississippi by daybreak, but damn, this house, it's got a ghost. I can taste it. Acrid in the back of my throat. I slow the truck down to a crawl and let the feeling wash over me like a dark rushing river, like rivulets of so much blood. Someone died here. The veil is thin, the bone splinters pressed against my skin. Someone died here. The lights are all off, except one in the basement. It flickers. Someone died here. They're angry. So, I do what I always do in situations as such. I park right on the side of the road and I haul myself onto the front porch and I knock thrice. Mr. Mid-40s, salt and pepper hair bathrobe McGee answers the door. He clearly just woke up, but he's wary. He's on guard, eyes tired but bouncing all over my face, assessing a threat. Well, there's a threat all right, buddy. There's a threat. I explained to him very simply that he's a ghost. It's angry, a vengeful spirit, and it's getting worse by the second. Did he do anything out of routine lately? Move something he shouldn't have? Anything can set these suckers off. For just a second, there's recognition in those eyes. Trust, maybe. Like, yeah, he has noticed something's off. Things have been strange, maybe this time, but no. The look disappears. Tells me very simply to go fuck myself. This is the way of it all. Next week, I'll be sipping burnt coffee in some backwater Mississippi diner, and there'll be a small sub-article in the paper that I'll read while I shake my head back and forth, all slow-like. Louisiana man stabbed wife and child to death in chilling attack. Wife and kids' pictures are both absent, which is for the best. Fucking sucks looking in the faces of those I didn't save, couldn't. But there's Mr. Mid-40s, salt and pepper hair bathrobe McGee, pasted right beneath the headline, and I noticed two things at once. For one, he's sans bathrobe. Must have gotten dressed for the mugshot occasion. Two, his eyes aren't tired, not like how I saw him that night in the dark on the porch. Even through the grainy black and white, I can see it. Not tired, no, his eyes are deeply, desperately haunted, and well, shit, that fucking sucks too. And in my head, I say to him what I wanted to say to him that night in the dark on the porch. I would have said, right. No, you're a family man. You're a good company man, and so who could blame you? Who could blame you for not taking my word, for letting the evil in, for being careless, callous? Oh, you don't trust what you can't see, what you can't touch with your own soft, unworked hands? You don't believe in any of my crackpot bullshit until something yanks your wife's hair out of her skull, until something hides under your kid's bed, waiting until it's too late. Then, you come to me. You come to me staring all accusatory-like from your mugshot, like, oh, it's my fault. It's my fault, isn't it? Right, it's my fault that some poor soul's unfinished business manifested physically in your creepy-ass, janky-ass downstairs boiler room. And it's my fault you didn't take any of my advice, didn't even want to hear it, when my advice was all there was that could have actually done something for you, could have saved you. It's my fault when a week later your wife and kid are dead, and you've got to get back to your corporate cubicle hellhole by Tuesday, get interrogated by some this is way above my pay grade cop by Thursday, and start on a life sentence in a supermax by Friday. Right, my fault. Like Ma always said, want to believe it when you see it? You'll believe it when it massacres your family and pins you for the crime, subsequently ruining your life upside down, backwards, and sideways. But your picture in the paper, desperate, haunted. Damn, man, I can't help but feel a little bit responsible. That it is my fault, slightly. I could have broken in, could have forced you to see things my way, the right way, the only way, and this is when the waitress stops by and pours me more Joe. I take a long sip. Hoping she didn't hear me talk to myself like that because it wouldn't really help with all the whole crazy, insane, crackpot bullshit persona. But then, the burnt coffee hits the back of my throat and it tastes acrid. A dark, rushing river, bone splinters, so much blood, and suddenly I'm alert, looking around, wild-eyed. A stranger's walked in. Dark coat, cap pulled low. And when he opened the door, the bell above him didn't jingle, and didn't budge. God fucking damn it. I slam my mug down so hard it cracks right down the center. I grab at the waitress's wrist as she passes by. She's heading right toward it, big, greeting smile on her face. I hate to be the one to tell you this, sugar, but But you got yourself a ghost. She looks down at me with rouged cheeks and bright wild eyes, and holy shit, she believes me. Her forehead's creased, brows drawn together, and I think she really is afraid of what could happen and what could come next if we don't do something. If they don't trust me, if she really believes me, they're saved. We're all saved. But no. She throws her head back and laughs, full body, guttural. Her smile is lopsided when she says, go fuck yourselves. You want more coffee? Natalie! You would be the left Twix.
I'll never think about that later.
Sorry.
They watch, and they never stop, do they? These eyes burning backward into my head, scalding myself like an unchecked oil fire, like a long, deep sigh. You said once they were your favorite part of me. Lightning green fields in a pale valley, an escape from the city, 2 drops of emerald heaven kept safe between my ears. I laugh it off because surely you know, as I always say to you, the constant, unsteady rhythm one feels when somebody paints them alive for the first time. It's only the contacts. My contacts make my eyes green. And in your tense smile, I see a flicker, and I don't know what it means. Put my heart to pen and paper, and it'll bleed only you. The morning dew folded in the sleeves of your torn jacket, freshly fallen and so ripe for shaking. Shaking like the espresso martinis I made when the power went out and the night got cold, and the only semblance of warmth was the candle from a store in a part of town I only went to because you heard it was nice. Nice, like the pause on the side of the street right before the cars roll by, and we're still waiting at the light, and I notice the softness of your stance, a familiar pang, a little wave to a passing kid you didn't hesitate to give. Give like the buckle of my knees against the grate of the fire escape as we race to catch the last firework on New Year's, giggling up all 7 stories. Like the story you told me over pasta and hushed tones several years ago about the scar on your knee, 7th grade, a lousy bite at the back road. How is it that I can taste the dirt your skin sunk into better than my own tongue? There is a train of thought trudging the murky, slinking puddles of my mind, and you are the only passenger. Haunted not by the pain of my memory, but at the pull of yours. And I am bleeding. These melting eyes watch as you cover me up, kiss my head, and tell me green was made for me. If only my eyes weren't blue. Blue like the river we always ran by that you said would be the best swim of your life if we only ever had the time to stop. Blue like terrible clouds, fiery rain, solid sleet. Blue like every midday horizon you've ever seen, a calm roof to sleep under. And we kid, but it's never really been funny, has it? That the earth could rip the land out from under my feet and you'd keep talking to the hole in the ground. That the trees could die and the sky could plummet and I could skate all the way down to heaven and hell and back 1,000,000 times before maybe, in a breath of panic, you'd remember the beginning of it all. Back at that intersection with the little kid in a Superman shirt that made me think of the pink pigtails I wore as Superwoman one year, the year I always tell you was the one with the best Halloween party I'd ever been to. You looked at this kid until the light turned red, and I should have known it then. I should have felt it in the silence. You did not remember me and the burn, and suddenly it's like I never left that party, like I stayed till way past my bedtime, past the end of the night, and the next, until I'm only ever there. On a night where I was somebody else who was too young to drink martinis and catch the sunlight in your hair, and carry the weight of 1,000,000 cents all through the Lower West Side just trying to find the smell of you burnt down to wax. I am burning. My contacts make my eyes green. It was never me, was it? You look in my eyes and think you know me, and I stare in the mirror wondering when it was you stopped, wondering if you ever really did. Yet, even in this break, you'll find me pushing these glasses, these demystifiers, desperately shoving them so hard against my brow, the arms almost snap off. All in hopes that soon, before I reach this clarity, chasing me around the pools of blue you're too scared to jump into, the green that engulfs you will drown me too.
Sophie, you would be a Milky Way.
Yeah. You're right. This is about the Salem witch trial, so I guess trigger warning witch trial. What happened? It's called Salem. So if you were from a different time, would you have been the one they called a witch and hung and burnt? Would you remain content to play your role as the complacent preacher's daughter? Or would you be far too slow to quell your fiery temper? Snap cleaner than your neck on the rope tied to the tree? Your words so harsh and irredeemable, they'd imprison you long before the townsfolk had the chance. Before they could sever every last thread that fastened us together. It would already be too late. You'd have already erased our past. If we had still been born in Salem, but just a few centuries prior, could you have hidden the stubborn spark within you? Live faster than the wooden stakes that fire beneath your feet. And as I watched your slow cremation, could I have stayed silent, buried under lace and corsets? Or would it prove impossible to cover up the very thing that first tethered you? If you're not careful, ignorance can become commonplace. Underneath the heavy snow and cool, austere sterility that blanketed our town that February the arrests first began, as mass hysterics for grand relief throughout our entire colony, fervent whispers ceasing settlement on Massachusetts Bay. While we wonder if it's witchcraft to feel deeply and wholeheartedly, and ponder whether they consider it wicked to question poor authority. Their crooked fingers pointed furiously, spurred on by the chill of New England winter, at girls whose deaths were guaranteed the moment they were named. What good is it to fight when you're condemned to execution, when no matter what you say or do, you'll always bear the blame? They'll burn you at the stake if you deny accountability. She's a witch, they'll cry. It's only a witch will lie about crimes. But your fate remains unchanged if you accept responsibility. She's a witch, they'll show, since you admit your guilt, and only a witch would be guilty. Accusations flung by Puritans promoting their sinless, pious society, some predestined for salvation, others doomed to burn at the stake. Ashes of frightened women clinging to faith in their own lingering innocence. Remnants of weeping girls echoing desperate pleas for final mercy, soon to be drowned out by the blinding, sweeping hatred of the mob. To be a woman is to sin, to dissent is to forfeit your autonomy. Sentenced to you, they need no proof beyond your female anatomy. Your greatest misdeed was believing you could be anything more than his property. You hung yourself by dreaming of purpose beyond having children, by turning a profit, by learning to read. In this time, tight-knit community where they value purity over morality, chastity over true virtue, place reputation over honesty. The righteous shall forever overcome, they claim, yet torch the few who dare to speak the truth.
You'd be Butterfingers.
I'm sure someone out here likes Butterfingers. Content warning for I guess, graphic depiction of anaphylactic shock. So if you ever have PTSD with heavy head, maybe Was it lust? Was it love? Was it as hard for you as it was hard for me? Was I the whore, or were you just horny? When you did it by lube, because you were sans money. And when you said that we could just use honey, was I the fool when I let you stick it in painfully? When my OB-GYN said it was a UTI undoubtedly? When the burning between my legs turned to sepsis and I couldn't pee? And when you scoffed at my grave and said it was because I was lucky? You call me a slut, but I want to make you my last victory. I want you to die by the tool you used to kill me. You turned innocent sugar into a femicidal yeast. Let me sacrifice your impatience on the altar of the original need to show the world you were the idiot that you claimed was me. I used to think Pavlov's conditioning worked on dogs simply because of their simplicity, But when I whisper it in your ear from beyond the grave, I realize you're just as brain dead as a bitch can eat. I place your oh so precious vat of Vaseline that you could have never wasted on me. And I watch you denigrate yourself from the hell you condemned me to and think, oh, honey, it was easy and that destroyed me. How far did I debase myself to have sex with a man who would only be pleased and never pleased? Who I had convinced he was attracted to bees, and maybe I'm a bit on the nose when I made a honey pot trap to be an actual hive on a tree, but you would think you would realize in your one-track mind that they sting and they hurt because they're bees. How dim-witted do you have to be for an ex to make an intrusive thought a thought that's rent-free? How powerless are you over your own dreams for an Instagram model to become a twisted sexual fantasy? For you to rationalize insect bestiality? How wretched are you to walk around and still act like you have the right to breathe? Remember when you said it was just you and I, but in the middle you forgot to add a T? So tonight you think you're planning something big tonight, and I watch with glee. You've been eyeing the carefully constructed hives in your neighbor's backyard with a stare that would put any normal person at relative unease. And when the sun sets and costumed innocence makes its way down the street, a voice in your head. No, the voice in your head. No, my voice. My voice in your head tells you to debauch yourself tonight in lust and greed. Although it can't have all been me, and that's something I refuse to believe, there must be something inherently wicked within you for this plan to succeed. Or maybe your motor cortex is just attached to your dick. Huh. Not all men, right-wing Twitter screams. I wonder what's going through your head when you finally see your most prized appendage covered in a broken honeycomb and bees. Oh, bees! There's thousands of them sinking their precious stingers in a furious greed. Your stupid face in pain as my murder weapon balloons from inflammation and atrophies. And when your throat closes from anaphylaxis, I can finally breathe. Here lies a man who should have sucked it up and spent his last $20 buying lube at Walgreens. Here lies a man who, when karma came for him, he let it do so without fear, not because he was brave, but because he was an idiot who was also a creep. But me, I have a new purpose now, and I'm no longer at the whims of a simple revenge story with a repetitive rhyme scheme. In 20 years, some tired camp counselor will preach, heed my warning and do not take it lightly. Instead of lube, do not let that boy use something weird.
Ash, you would be gummy bears. Yeah. You're sweet.
My poem is called The Weeping Reaper. On this day, the truest day of days, when moon supersedes sun, when darkness brings delight to faces so often wrought with terror, and I smile. Despite myself, I begin beaming, for this is my favorite of all the sunsets and moonrises, All Hallows Eve, where my personal peace at last is found. I am wearing no mask today, nothing to make them shriek and scream. Not like I needed one before, but still, this day is grand. The scariest of all, and yet I can be greeted by a slight smirk, small smile, a grin to be ingrained within my memory for all eternity. I don't mean to hoot and holler, but I can't help but bounce on the balls of my feet. Excitement courses through my veins, electric, almost explosive. Gosh, I love this day. The children don their costumes, dressing as what haunts their dreams, becoming a subsect of their nightmares. They decorate themselves with blood, bruises, bile, as if they long to be feared, reminding me that their presence has always meant joy and not despair, that death is an elusive concept rather than their 9 to 5. At least the spooky, scary skeletons cause more screams than I do, at least for today. Light and love and luck and life, dark and dread and doom and death, works of wonder, way of the world, why am I to blame for the parts they despise? I have never hated humanity. I'm pretty sure the humans thought I hated them, painting me as a dark omen sent from below to torment them, shunning me like the devil for the role I was formed to fulfill for my purpose on this planet we share. But they've never been further from the truth. Not when they thought the universe revolved around them, praising them like a god, or when they explained natural with supernatural and supernatural with natural, trying fruitlessly to piece together a puzzle with no pieces. Or when they turned on each other, searching aimlessly for something to blame for the tragedies that cracked their carefully crafted explanations and escaped their scientific scourings. attributing meaning to meaninglessness and causation to haphazard happenstance. I truly don't mean to terrify just because of who I am. I could try to change, shed my skin like a snake in an attempt to please, but I am a grimy, slimy little gecko, and no matter my efforts, my tail will grow back. Those fools think they can mold me to their desires just as they've shaped everything else, but I predate them in their mindless dreams, and I will live long after they're gone. They do not get to decide what about me is wrong. My personal peace must be protected. I am who I am, who I always have been, who I always will be, exactly as I've always said. And though I long to sit beside them, they place gilded handbags on the seats, a futile attempt to ward me off, one meant to be crushed. I cannot become their perfect little angel, not through energy, not through knowledge, not even through sheer desperation. It's not as though I can outrun my own shadow unless I smite the sun myself to cut the light for good. Wow. Maybe I am exactly what Commander planned.
Well, you would be white chocolate.
Why do you call me white chocolate?
I didn't make that one up! I didn't!
This poem's called Play to My Mama. Play to my mama. I needed to hear this. No, the sun is so fearless. Segregated from black size, I hope he's to clear this. And still accept that I'm here to hear. My ear to reply. Getting too restless, then I'm restless to a nod just to see my mama. My mama. My mama. Black as the sun. At dark nights with street lights, know that nigga can run. If school's on the belt stop, know she with me for fun. I go to sleep to clear dreams because my nose is done. Mama, I'ma be there. Mama, time to come. You work 12 hours. Can you be there? Mama, cousin's clothes is way too baggy. You like streetwear? Mama, Nina dressed in women's clothes, but I can be there. Mama, how come you eat that fufu dipped in Muwachi? Well, me, my sister watching while you eating our Takis. It's hard as something, not as hard as peppers in our party. Or hard as Ghana when they keep beaming over Ashanti. Please make it play with my mama. My mama's mama. The first of many sins. The last that we can say is African. Jacking up prices bring me back again. Sometimes I dream of being back and I'm black again. Back again to live a life that mama has seen. Play with my mama. Hope the trees cover, healing the sea. Play with my mama. Hope the station is sounding like me, black on the screens, plugging TVs, feel like static to me. But I'm still watching that African for you. My grandmother crying, saying, come back, son, let's run you and me. Living next to brothers, picking all the mangoes off trees, you climbed them, baby. You were sprinting, you run faster than me. It comes and goes, I hope she stays, but then she leaves again. Mama banging on the bathroom, telling me to breathe again. I see again, but I can't hear it. Mama, could you read again? Grandma isn't here. My son, she passed. I feel it bleeding in. Losing that connection to my past. My mother's creeping in. Play with my mama. That only knows of the states. The one that let the white eat off a plate. I pray my mama see a comma. I pray she open it safe. Don't be no play with the market or they be stocking your wages. 12 years, the same old salary. Probably give some money to a Negro that's as black as me. Mama gave me time and I'm allowed to give you heights to see and realize you was wasted off a lifeless bastard. Mama, please, please. I still feel her calling, Grandma, bring me back again. Her soul likes to dance. I hear her tap and say, you African. Still trapped with being black yet. My father says he misses me. I hear his hymns travel. No time, I feel it's history. I'm African or black again. Because black is color eating off your past. No, I'm African. African is just the people that you trust, and that is not your kin. Baby, you an African, a star and yet a monster that be savaging his land from. Mama knows this all too well. Came away with a slave named and a little girl. You be by yourself. You traded your God's gift. I know the troubles that you felt, the secrets you kept locked away, all the ones you swept to maybe find a day that you could hire help. Well, Mama, your wish is born. Your son is born. He more than half of you. He trapped between the people that we hate. You feel him grab you. Saying run before it's too late. I'll make the same mistakes. I'll never see my papa. Forget his voice. I'll watch him fly away. You hide behind the colors. Color people do not know your name or where you from or Or how do you frame the culture that you love to shame? I hope one day you find a way to slip away, my mama. I hope one day you see grandma and tell her that I love her. Because I know where I'm going is not going to be up and rich there. I'm going to be with the people that got hands before they with you there. I'll probably be in hell if I'm not with one of my sisters. Praise my mama. She don't see this. I hope this poem bubbles in her. Knowing that she hears the cadence sway. Knowing that the loving words makes every nightmare slowly fade away. I'll make the lie shut clean to the reality. The truth is, one black girl, a survivor of a tragedy, moving to the States to get a promise that was guaranteed, had to change her name, another step to what they want to see. Coast girl, growing up to someone slightly white as me, working till her hair coils, worked and run and work again. Baby, this is their soil. Meet a man and start a family that's never there for you. Back at home, real family channeling their soil, and oops, another tragedy. Your mama dies, you want to cry, but was you really there for her? Or was you out there sneaking off to land that never cared for you? 2 children, 1 son, he African, he cares for you. Waiting, scream, just show him that you're there for him. Slowly eat your soup in front of him and feel his stare for him. Speak the language that he never speaks until it's bare to him. Do this and just wait until the day he hops on stage and shows the people that his mother isn't clairvoyant. His mother could never see that this light here just wasn't there for her. She would give up every luxury if he could claim more, if she could claim more of what is packaged in. My mother is an African. Son, kiss, wish she could go back again. And tell that little girl, that sis, live in your past again. Dismiss the evil messages that bring you back to black again. Black as the moon at dark nights. You look west and your skin turns blue. Such regret, I die test. And I wish onto you. Maybe I can make a play to show you dreams come true. This is a play by my mama.